Dear students of standard 11, today we are going to start another one new topic in bio-botany. In the previous class we have studied about vegetative morphology. Vegetative morphology of the plants means the vegetative parts, study of the vegetative parts of a plant. Which are the vegetative parts? Root system and shoot system. In the root system, the primary root, the secondary root, branches, everything. Then in the shoot system, we have studied only the vegetative parts like the stem, branches, leaves, buds. In the buds, if you take axillary buds, terminal buds, like that. Now these are all vegetative parts. So we have completed externally what are the various structures are present in that. That is vegetative morphology. But in this topic, we are going to study about reproductive morphology. So in the higher plants, there are certain reproductive structures. These structures are meant only for reproduction, multiplication of the individuals. That is called reproduction. Now, which are the parts that are included, that are important, that are involved in reproduction, we have to see. So in the higher plants, particularly the flowering plants, the inflorescence is the reproductive part. What is the meaning of inflorescence? In some plants, we can find the flowers which are located in the branches in bunches, in groups. That is called bunch of flowers. That only we are calling it as inflorescence. Maybe about 3 flowers, 4 flowers, 10 flowers, 15, 20, 30 flowers will be present in one bunch. So this arrangement of flowers in bunch is called inflorescence. So the inflorescence, the bunch of flowers, is a reproductive part. In majority of the plants, the flowers are present independently, individually. Okay, single flowers will be present everywhere, but enormous number. So it is called, that is what, simple flower. Only one flower called a simple flower. So the flower is the reproductive organ. Okay, flower is a reproductive organ. Then after pollination and fertilization, which you have studied in the lower classes, the flowers are developing into fruit. So the next one is the fruit, is a reproductive organ. In the fruit, a lot of food materials are stored, and inside the fruit, the seeds are there. The seeds are very, very important. Now, once the seeds are coming out of the fruit, and if it is falling, the seeds are falling on the suitable soil, then each seed will germinate into a new plant sapling. Now, under suitable condition, each plant sapling is developing into adult plant. So these are all important for reproduction. So the inflorescence, bunch of flowers. Okay, the second one is a single flower, and the third one is the fruit and the seeds inside the fruit, or the reproductive parts. So in this topic, we are going to study the 3 small units. Okay, the whole topic is called the reproductive morphology, but in that the first division is inflorescence. What are the different types of bunches of flowers are seen in various types of plants, that we are going to see. The second one is one flower. What are the various parts are present in one flower, single flower. Then the third one, in the flower, which are the parts are developing into fruit and seeds. That also we are going to study. That is the topic. Now everything is involved in reproduction. So we are calling this topic as the reproductive morphology. So in the reproductive morphology, we are going to study about inflorescence. So we have to know what is the meaning of inflorescence. Already I told in the introduction, a bunch of flowers arranged on a common stalk. Only one common stalk will be there. Over the common stalk, okay, bunch of flowers will be there. Bunch of flowers may be a few to many. For example, if you take the sunflower, 100, 200 flowers will be present in one bunch. But if you take other flowers like a jasmine and all, maybe 3 flowers, 4 flowers may be present in one bunch. So it may be a few flowers or enormous number of flowers, but everything is present in a bunch, only one bunch. So a bunch of flowers arranged on a common stalk. What is the name of the common stalk? We cannot use the term common stalk everywhere. The common stalk of the inflorescence is called peduncle. Okay, this term is peduncle. Already in vegetative morphology, for the leaf, the stalk of the leaf is called a pedicel, but you should not get any confusion with that. This is, sorry, not pedicel, petiole. It is called a petiole, but here this is called a peduncle. Now the second point you have to say, peduncle may be branched or unbranched. So in some inflorescence the peduncle will be single. It is not at all branched. But in some inflorescence, the peduncle may be divided into a number of branches. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 branches will be present. So the peduncle, the stalk of the inflorescence, may be branched or unbranched. Okay, that is second point. The third one regarding inflorescence, for exposing the flowers for pollination and seed dispersal. Why the peduncle is present? Why the peduncle is branched or unbranched? So the peduncle is exposing all the flowers, okay, in different direction all around the peduncle, common stalk, for pollination. Now in the lower class you might have studied what is the meaning of pollination. Pollination means transfer of pollen grain from one flower to another flower. That is called a pollination. Maybe some agents will be there, like wind is an agent, insects or agents like that. So pollination, for pollination. So all the flowers will receive the pollen grains. So from all the flowers, pollen grains will be released out. For that, the peduncle is present. So for exposing the flowers for pollination and also for seed dispersal. Okay, the flowers present in the bunch, they developed into a bunch of fruit. Now the fruits are having seeds. The seeds must be dispersed. They have to be carried away from the main plant. Then only the seeds can develop successfully into new plants. Now for these, the inflorescence is having a common stalk called a peduncle. Now we are coming to the types of inflorescence. There are different types of inflorescence. That means bunches of flowers based on their position. Now based on the position of the inflorescence in the plant, we are having different types of inflorescence. First one, terminal inflorescence. I am writing here INFL, that is the abbreviation for inflorescence, short form I am using. But whenever you are writing, you write the full name, inflorescence. The terminal inflorescence. What is the meaning of terminal inflorescence? These inflorescence are found at the tip of the branches of the plant. Enormous number of branches will be there, but at the tip of each branch, one inflorescence will be present. So since it is present, the inflorescence is present at the tip of a branch, it is called a terminal inflorescence. The next one is axillary inflorescence we have to take. What is the meaning of axillary? These inflorescence are found at the axils of the leaf. Now this already we have studied for the bud, axillary bud. Now the stem is present, then leaf is present at one angle, then between the leaf and the stem there is a space, it is called axil of the leaf. So the inflorescence is situated in the axil of the leaf, that is called the axillary inflorescence. Next one is cauliflorous inflorescence, C-A-U-L-I, cauliflorous inflorescence. They are developed directly from the woody trunk. Now normally the inflorescence will be the axil of the leaf or they are found at the tip of the branch. But here in this cauliflorous inflorescence, the bunch of flowers are directly attached with the woody trunk. But normally flowers will not be seen from the woody trunk. But rarely in some plants, the bunch of flowers, that is inflorescence, is arising from the woody trunk of the tree. Now the tree is having main trunk. Trunk is only very stout main stem, bearing branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, everything. But the inflorescence is arising from the trunk. That is called a cauliflorous. So terminal inflorescence, axillary inflorescence and a cauliflorous inflorescence are the three types of inflorescence present in the plants. Now we are coming to types of inflorescence based on branching pattern. Now previously position of the inflorescence. Now branching pattern. What is the meaning of branching? Branching of the peduncle. Peduncle is the main stem, main stalk, common stalk. So the common stalk is a branch. The peduncle is a branch. Based on that we are going to see. The first one is racemose. It is also called the indeterminate inflorescence. Okay, it is called the indeterminate inflorescence. The second type is called cymose or determinate inflorescence. The details of the determinate, indeterminate and other things and all we are going to study in the next step. Now only the type we are going to see. Racemose or indeterminate, cymose or determinate. Next one is mixed inflorescence. Racemose inflorescence is having its own characters. Cymose inflorescence is having its own characters. But in the mixed inflorescence, the characters of racemose and cymose will be present together. Mixed up. That is called a mixed inflorescence. Special inflorescence. The special inflorescence will have special characters which are not seen in racemose, cymose or mixed. It is some completely different. That is called a special inflorescence. Now, the differences between racemose and cymose. In the previous slide, we have studied about 4 types. In the first 2 types, I am going to take racemose. It is also called indeterminate inflorescence. Next one is cymose inflorescence. The cymose inflorescence is determinate inflorescence. What are the differences? We have to see. First, in the diagrammatic representation, I want to give the difference. Okay. Now, this is the main stalk of the inflorescence. Okay, main stalk. This is called a peduncle. Like that, even in this also the main stalk is present. Peduncle. Okay. Now, these are all the flowers, the red color circles. All these things are representation for flowers. Okay, in the first one, the main stalk, the peduncle is there. The tip of the peduncle is free from flowers. No flowers will be present at the tip of the peduncle. So, the tip of the peduncle, because of the absence of flower, the tip of the peduncle is continuously growing. No stoppage. It is continuously growing. So, the growth of the peduncle is continuous. That is only we are calling it as indeterminate. That means no determination. The peduncle will grow like this height only, not like that. It is continuously growing. So, this peduncle is indeterminate peduncle. So, this indeterminate peduncle is bearing group of flowers, bunch of flowers. That is called a racemose. Now, we will come to the next one, cymose inflorescence. Now, this is the peduncle. It is growing, but once it grows up to certain distance, the first flower will be appearing on the tip. Here there is no flower at the tip, but here the first flower will be formed on the tip. It is the first formed flower. Once the flower is formed, the peduncle growth will be stopped. The peduncle's growth will be stopped. So, the peduncle is having limited growth, determinate growth. That is called a determinate inflorescence, we can say. Now, once the flower is formed, after that, the other flowers are present or growing below the first formed flower, below here, anywhere. Even 2 more flowers may be present on this side, like that. So, the other flowers which are formed will be younger flowers. This is the old flower. The next flowers are called young flowers. This is called cymose inflorescence. Okay, now there is a tabular column with a lot of characters which are showing the differences between them. Racemose inflorescence, cymose inflorescence. See the first point, main axis, that is the peduncle, main axis of unlimited growth. Okay, now it is unlimited, continuously it is growing. Here the main axis is of limited growth. That means it is growing up to certain height only. Flowers are arranged in acropetal succession. Now, I have to explain about what is the meaning of acropetal succession. Now, this term is very, very important, acropetal. Now, on the peduncle, flowers are arranged. For example, here only 4 flowers are there. Now, I will take the first. Now, if you take that first flower, this is the first formed flower which is considered as the oldest flower. It is the first formed flower when the peduncle is growing. It is called the oldest flower in the whole bunch. The next flower is formed this one. So, this flower is younger to this one. This flower is a younger flower to this one. Next, after some time when the peduncle is growing, the next third flower is growing. This third flower is younger to the second. Okay, the younger to the second. Then the fourth flower is growing. It is younger to the third. Even one more flower is developing later on. Imagine like that. That will be younger to the fourth, like that. What we are understanding from this, old flowers are seen near the base of the peduncle. Young flowers are seen near the tip of the peduncle. This type of arrangement of older flowers arranged at the base of the peduncle and younger flowers near the tip, not at the tip, near the tip of the peduncle is called acropetal succession. Now, we will come to this one. Flowers are arranged in a basipetal succession. What is the meaning of basipetal? We have to take. Now, this is the peduncle which is growing. It is having limited growth. so first formed flower will be on the tip, exactly on the tip. This is called the oldest flower. Then after that on the peduncle at a time, now first one flower is formed. This is one flower. It is a second flower younger to the first flower. Now the third flower is formed. Imagine like that. This is further younger to the second. So what we are understanding from this, old flowers will be present at the tip of the peduncle. Younger flowers are present near the base of the peduncle, opposite of this one. That is called basipetal succession. Now opening of flowers is a centripetal. Now these are the flowers. First they will be present in the form of bud, but after a period of time they are opening. The opening is called a blossom. Okay, the flowers are blossom. So how they are? Now this is the oldest flower, I said. It is opening, but the stalk is longer. So it is away from the peduncle. The opening will be there. Then the next one is this young flower, but the stalk is little shorter. Now this will open second. Okay, but it is a little closer to the peduncle. Third one is formed. It is younger to the second, but this is opening after that, third, but it is a further closer to the peduncle. Fourth is opening further closer. So that is from the outer towards the center, the growth is taking place, the opening is taking place. See that one side I am taking. This is opening which is far off from the peduncle. This is the next one which is opening closer to the peduncle. So the opening is taking from outer towards the center. That is called centripetal growth. Now this is centrifugal growth. Now the next word, opening of flowers, is a centrifugal. What is the meaning of centrifugal? First flower which is opened is on the axis, center, central axis. The next flower which is opening is away from the center. So if the flowers are opening from the center towards the periphery of the inflorescence, periphery means outer, then it is called centrifugal growth. Usually, the next point in racemose, usually the oldest flowers are at the base. I already told you, oldest flowers are at the base and the youngest flowers are at the tip, near the tip. Now that is what. But here if you take the oldest flowers, usually the oldest flower at the top of the inflorescence axis. The inflorescence axis is the peduncle at the top. That is on the tip of that oldest flower is present. Now these are all the differences between racemose inflorescence and cymose inflorescence.